Welcome back to the second part of this video where I'm going to be showing you how to make Baozhong Wenshan Oolong from northern Taiwan in Gong Fu style using a gaiwan. First thing to do in Gong Fu is to warm your tea vessels, or cleanse or purify. It's by running the hot water through all the vessels. It's especially beneficial when you are going to steep a lighter body tea like a Baozhong. And we have our tea pad here. I'll tell you more about it another time perhaps. I'm using for this gaiwan, which is about 150 ml, about 8 grams of the tea, and this fills up a little more than half of the gaiwan. The water temperature that I'm using is about 176. You can use anything from 176 to 180. The first steep is about a minute. It's got this pale golden color. And in the first steep is this floral, very fragrant, buttery cup. A little bit of a bitterness, a little shade of it. In the second steep, I'm going to reduce the steeping time, and that should take away that bitterness. The good thing about Gong Fu is you have control over the many variables that go into making a great tea. This is our second steep. This time we'll steep for about 30 seconds. Looks a tad darker this time on the second round. Very floral. I'd say this has got just this Baozhong, good Baozhong, just has this perfect balance of the floral elements and this crisp, slightly tannic feel to it, and it just gives this a refreshing feel to the body when you drink a tea like this. Okay, steep number 3. And the leaves are beginning now to almost push out of the gaiwan. This time we'll steep it for 40 seconds. It's just stuffed with tea leaves, this beautiful green jade tea leaves there. Floral and a little earthy this time. It just has this effect of cleansing the palate, I feel. It just, and not only the palate, just purifies you almost entirely. That's how I feel when I drink this tea. still a lot of floral elements, almost a little nuttiness now coming through, almost like a chestnutty sort of a note. And the body cools. Steep number 4. You got to take all those last drops out of the gaiwan. That's where all the flavors lie. And not only that, if you let the water stay in the gaiwan, you can draw the bitterness out of the tea. Floral fading away a little bit, but just becoming that very pleasing echo. Feels softer, much softer than we started, but still very flavorful. Still very, very pleasing. The earthiness seems to be moving a little bit forward now, but the bitterness has almost all gone away. Again, the notes are very, very pure. It just tells you that this tea was grown and processed with a lot of care in a very clean environment. So this is the 5th steep at a minute. I can tell you that there's still a lot of color, which means there's a lot left in this tea. You know what I feel most right now is that sweetness. Now it's right in the front of the tongue. Remember that these notes are always present. It is sometimes what your mind chooses to focus on. So I might have perhaps said sweetness for the first time in the fifth steep, but it was surely there in the other steeps as well. But now when I mention it, I realize that there was some of it in the earlier steeps. It's just now that my mind is focusing on it. Now we will stop at the 5th steep. There's so much more that you can draw from this tea out, but at this point I'm kind of done and I'm going to stop at this. Let me know about your explorations, what you find in this tea. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you remember, kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.